All right. I was going to talk about water filtration systems a little bit and why I went with one and if you can do one too, because I think having good water in the house is going to, one, you'll drink more water if it's good, and then two, you'll be actually surprised at how much crap is actually in your water, even if you're on city water. I happen to be on a well, but I was kind of amazed at how much um, junk was in the water. I'm not exactly sure when I first heard about it, but I got a reverse osmosis system, and I want to say it was when I was stationed in Hawaii. Supposedly had the best water and cleanest water out there, and I put a reverse osmosis system in the house so that I could, make sure that there was no fluoride in the water, because I do believe that fluoride gets around your pineal gland. It allows you to, or it doesn't allow you to actually get those intuitions or the foresight, or let you think. I think that might actually, entrap people in like the news or bad news or things of that nature. And I know I was kind of in a downward spiral, but we'll go to the reverse osmosis in a little bit. But in my current house, I have a well, and when I purchased the house, I noticed that in the back of all the toilets, there was a lot of, there was staining, lots of staining in the back of the toilet. So the water that was coming in from the well would go into the toilets, it would stain the back of it. And no matter what I really did, I couldn't get that stuff out of there. So I knew it was in the pipes, I knew it was in the water. So I knew that something was dirty. So for me, I went and purchased a whole house system, like a 2-house filter system that you see behind me, and I'll show you the rest of it in a minute. But I at first, actually, I will go ahead and see if I can't show you this thing. So the first thing I did was down underneath the house, which if I have enough interest, maybe I'll climb back underneath there again. I went and I have the main line coming in, and I split that off where portion of the water that actually feeds the house and the toilet, the washing machine, the dishwasher, everything that we use inside of the house is going to come through this filtration system. And I ran new pipes out to the spigots that go outside, because I really don't care to filter the water going out there. So that's part of it. So I have the pipe coming up into the house. It comes directly up from the floor. Yeah, I drilled a hole in the floor. Actually went through the wall and had the pipe coming out. I can, if I need to. It's probably really dirty back there. Oh, that's where that thing went. All right, so I can cut this filter system all the way out, but it comes up to, first thing is like a little spin down, and this is a 50 micron filter, and the drain line for it runs over to the same one where the washing machine, so it's the washing machine exit. So coming up to the spin down filter, this is a 50 micron filter. You can see that it has some particles and junk in it. And when I turn it on right now, the stuff that's on it is kind of stuck there. We're going to have to take the filter out and actually physically clean it, but it'll get rid of the bigger particles, any big rust particles and things that come up from the well. Next coming over is like one of these, I think it's Pure Geek 2 filter system. Originally it came with the first one is a 20 micron filter, and the second one is a charcoal filter, which will get rid of some of the chemicals. The charcoal in there gets rid of some of the chemicals. But since I have this whole home system that I purchased on the Facebook Marketplace for relatively cheap, and this section right here is the charcoal system, which is currently active and used in the system. I don't need a charcoal system in this filter. Plus, I put a 1 micron filter over here on the right, and it appears that majority of the junk is, 20 microns or larger, so you can actually physically see it. That's why the filter itself is turning brown. The newer filter, the 1 micron, is still clean, so that's looking pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna have to replace that for a while. So a system like this or the pieces and parts and whatnot. The two filters, that's about $200, and the spin down is probably about $55-$60, depending on what size you get. I'm not particularly advertising for any particular company, but I do like that it's clear and I can see in it, and I can kind of see when I need to change things. Is it ugly when it comes in the house? Some people might think so, but at the same time, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of it, and getting to see what is being taken out of the water, so I feel kind of happy with that. So anyway, the spin down, you saw that it works, and when it gets a little bit clogged, you come over here, turn it on, that blasts the water down to my hose. I might get a drop or two because it's just kind of sealed there. Comes over into my first filter system, like that's the 20 micron, it's getting filtered, goes into the filter and up through the middle. It comes out, same thing is going to happen here. It's going to come out to the outside. It is getting slightly colored, but it's not as white as it could be. Maybe you can't see it on this camera. And then from there, I had purchased this whole house system. It comes into a salt treatment portion, but I ended up breaking part of it, so I have it turned off. And you can see that it's kind of bypassed now, because this would say if the water was coming into it, it would go in, but the water is coming straight across, coming out. Yeah, it's not ugly, but I'll tell you what, shark bites are the way to go. And then it comes into my whole house carbon filter system. This piece in the middle is a brine that is used with the salt portion, but I'm not using it at the moment, so it's just what it is, and I'm not going to move it out for right now. It's just heavy. So this thing, the charcoal, activated charcoal in there, it's supposed to be good for like 3 to 5 years, which is awesome because that's quite expensive. And then it comes back out and it goes back into the house. So from the house, it splits out to all the piping that goes to the washer, dryer, dishwasher, sinks, toilets, showers, everything of that nature. I have not noticed a reduction in pressure ever since I put this system in. Now this is my second time changing this particular filter. Once it got quite dirty, really a lot more dirty than it is right now, you will start to get a little bit less flow, and at that point you definitely know it's time to change it. But from there, let's talk about some of the drinking water. We haven't quite removed any fluoride, some of the charcoal itself will remove some of the chemicals, but I use a reverse osmosis system in order to remove the water, chemicals or fluoride or things like that from the water for drinking. Okay, so under the sink is going to be my reverse osmosis system. So osmosis is a process that plants use in order to take a area of high concentration of particles and move it to it evens it out. So those high concentration particles averages everything out, and that's how the plants get their nutrients, through osmosis. So a reverse osmosis system takes water with high concentration or something in it, and it removes all of those particles, so you're basically just getting water. So let's see, I know it's dirty under my sink, but it is what it is. So over here, you can see the silver thing in the middle. That is the valve that is going to get the water from my system, which has already been filtered, but we're going to move it over and it's going to send it to the reverse osmosis filter system that we have. This particular one, when I bought it, was a seven-stage system. So you have your 1, 2, 3. This one is just another one of those particle filters that you have. This is activated carbon. There's another activated carbon in here. It moves it up to the actual reverse osmosis filter itself. And then the reverse osmosis filter has there's like a little valve that when water is coming in to it, then it also allows water to flow through it to blow all the particles away. So this is, some people would consider a wasteful system, because let's say if you get 4 gallons in, you're only going to get one, maybe maybe 2 gallons of useful water. After the reverse osmosis filter, it comes out of the RO filter itself, comes over to an activated carbon, which is for taste, and that I have going over to a pressure tank. I did purchase a little bit larger of a pressure tank so that I could fill up some of the jugs or things of that nature. And I also ran a Y to where it goes, sorry, let me stop there. It goes over to the pressure tank. From the pressure tank, it comes over, and I have it coming back to an alkaline filter, which kind of re-mineralizes the water after we have taken everything back out of it. You do not require this, but it's not a bad feature, and it puts a little bit of whatever you're looking for back into the water. From there, it goes out to a Y. One of the Ys comes up to my drinking fountain, which, yeah, don't mind the mess. But this is where I'm actually getting the filtered water. And it also comes through the back, goes into the freezer, and then I'm able to get that filtered water out of the freezer. And so the ice machine, the water that you get from the fridge and freezer, even though the fridge has its own little filter, is reverse osmosis water. So I feel that I'm actually getting safe, clean water. Notice, one of the things I noticed in particular, at first I only had a reverse osmosis, and this filter would get extremely dirty very fast. So now that I have a whole house filter, it pretty much stays clean, but I still do need to replace the carbon filters on occasion. And my alkaline filter is only good for so long because the materials and minerals in it they'll get used up. So I do have to replace those. If you're going to install your own, I do highly recommend, see this little black and white piece in the middle? That is the drain line that is utilized when the reverse osmosis is actually filtering the water. So that water is going to blow away all the chemicals or impurities that is not able to pass through the filter. It would be extremely easy to just drill right into your drain pipe on the side and put it on. However, if you do that, you're going to end up with a lot of noise from the dripping of the water coming out, and it will drive you nuts. So I recommend putting it up on one of the flatter areas where the water can drip down. Just, make sure you install it correctly. Otherwise it could leak, but don't put it on like, okay, this is the easy spot to get to. I can drill a hole in there and just stick it in. Yes, you can, but it is going to drive you nuts if you allow it to just drip into the bottom of that little catch. So that's my word of advice, because I did it before and then I ended up having to buy different pipes. But this is my fourth house that I've had a reverse osmosis in, so I'm getting a little bit better at it. I know that was kind of a quick a little video on how things work, but if you are interested in kind of like, or have any questions about what type of filters might be used, you can go have your water tested to see if you need a water filtration system. But you might be like me, where when you lived in a place that supposedly had lots of clean water, and you see your filter looking like this one, you're going to be like, wow, I'm kind of glad I did put a filtration system in there. But all things considered, I would say at a minimum, have a reverse osmosis, a 5-stage in your house for drinking water. One, it's going to make your water taste a lot better. And when your water tastes better, you're going to want to drink more. And then you won't be needing as many of the sodas or whatever else that you have. So just my idea on it. So let me know what you think, and let me know if you have something similar in your house. All right.